When people come to me and say, Dr. Berg, my metabolism is slow, I always smile and say, no, your metabolism isn't slow. It's just doing exactly what your body is telling it to do. The truth is, your metabolism doesn't just randomly break. It adapts, it responds, it protects. And if you're gaining weight, feeling tired, and can't seem to lose fat no matter what you do, that's not your body's failure. That's your body's protection mechanism working overtime. It's trying to keep you alive, even though the environment around you is sending all the wrong signals. Let's think about this for a moment. Every single thing you eat, every time you snack, every sip of a sugary drink, even that so-called healthy breakfast cereal, it sends a signal to your hormones. And hormones are what truly control your metabolism. They decide whether your body will burn energy or store it, whether you'll feel energetic or exhausted, whether your fat cells will open up or stay tightly locked. The real issue isn't that your body forgot how to burn fat, it's that it's constantly being told not to. Now, I know many people believe that metabolism just slows down with age. They say, when I was in my 20s, I could eat anything. Now I just look at food and gain weight. That's not aging. That's years of insulin stress building up in the body. See, when you're young, your body is incredibly forgiving. It can handle spikes in sugar, late night snacks, fast food, even stress. But over time, your system becomes less tolerant. The more insulin your body releases, the more resistant your cells become to it. Eventually, your metabolism loses flexibility. You can't switch easily between sugar burning and fat burning anymore. You get stuck in sugar mode, Chuck, and that's when everything goes downhill. Let me explain what that looks like inside your body. Imagine your fat cells as little store. Age lockers. When insulin levels are high, those lockers stay locked. The key doesn't work anymore. So instead of releasing energy from your stored fat, your body keeps asking for more fuel, more sugar, more carbs, more snacks. You feel hungry all the time, even though you have plenty of stored energy sitting right there. You feel tired because your body can't access that energy. You feel mentally foggy because your brain runs best on a stable fuel supply, not constant ups and downs from sugar crashes. And the worst part, you start blaming yourself. You think, maybe I need more willpower, maybe I'm just eating too much. But that's not the real problem. The real problem is your metabolism has been hijacked by modern eating patterns. Too frequent, too processed, too much sugar, and not enough time for your body to reset between meals. Think about how people used to eat 50 or 60 years ago. 3 meals a day, sometimes even 2. No constant snacking, no frappuccinos in the afternoon, no energy bars every few hours. Their insulin had time to go down between meals. Their bodies had time to switch into fat-burning mode. But today we've trained our systems to always expect food. Morning, mid-morning, lunch, afternoon, evening, late night. Each time you eat, insulin rises. And if insulin never comes back down, fat burning never begins. So what happens next? Your energy drops. You start depending on caffeine or sugar to keep going. You might feel a temporary boost, but then you crash again. That crash isn't random. It's your body's desperate signal for more quick energy because it can't access stored fat. Over time, this pattern repeats so many times that your metabolism becomes sluggish, almost numb. Your body stops responding to normal cues. You eat, but you don't feel satisfied. You rest, but you don't feel energized. You try to lose weight, but nothing happens. And here's the irony. The harder you try with traditional dieting, the worse it gets. Because most diets tell you to simply eat less. But if you eat less often, you can fix insulin. If you just eat less calories but still keep snacking all day, your insulin stays high and your metabolism stays stuck. You might lose a little weight at first, but then it rebounds and you gain even more. So when you say, my metabolism is broken, what you really mean is, your metabolism is overloaded. It's exhausted from years of overexposure to insulin. Your fat-burning switch is turned off because insulin has been screaming for attention for too long. And when insulin screams, the body listens. You may not notice it right away, but your body has been giving you small warning signs for years. Fatigue after meals, difficulty concentrating, afternoon crashes, stubborn belly fat, bloating, sugar cravings. These are not random symptoms. These are metabolic alarms. Your body is saying, something's not right, I can't keep doing this. But the beautiful thing is, once you understand what's actually happening, once you stop blaming your willpower and start addressing the root cause, your metabolism can heal faster than you think. because your body wants to be healthy. It doesn't want to store fat unnecessarily. It doesn't want to stay tired. It just needs the right conditions to turn that switch back on. That's the first step, is understanding that your metabolism isn't your enemy. It's your built-in survival system. It's reacting exactly to the signals you're sending it. So if you can change the signals, the foods you eat, the frequency you eat them, the stress you allow, you can completely change the outcome. Your metabolism can go from sluggish to active, from fat storing to fat burning. And once that shift happens, everything else starts to make sense. You wake up with energy instead of craving coffee. You go longer between meals without feeling shaky. You stop thinking about food all the time. Your clothes fit differently, not because you starved yourself, but because your body finally started to work the way it was designed to. When we talk about metabolism, most people immediately think about calories and how many you eat, how many you burn, but that's not how your body actually works. The real driver of metabolism isn't calories, it's hormones. And there's one hormone that stands above all others when it comes to fat loss, energy, and overall health: insulin. Insulin is like the master switch that tells your body whether to burn fat or store it. When insulin levels are high, your body is in storage mode. It doesn't matter how clean you eat or how much you exercise. As long as insulin is high, fat burning stays off. Every time you eat, insulin rises. That's normal. It's supposed to. Insulin's job is to help move nutrients from your bloodstream into your cells. But here's where the problem begins. In the modern world, insulin rarely gets a break. We eat from the moment we wake up until late at night. Breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack again. Sometimes we even eat in bed while scrolling our phones. And every one of those eating events keeps insulin elevated. It's like never letting your foot off the gas pedal. Eventually the engine wears out. When insulin is high all day, your cells start to become resistant. It's like they've been hearing the same message for too long, so they stop responding. That's called insulin resistance. And this is the true root of a broken metabolism, because once your cells stop listening to insulin, your body compensates by producing even more of it. The result? Chronically high insulin levels that trap fat inside your cells and block your body's ability to burn it. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine your cells are like little houses with doors. Insulin is the key that opens the doors to let energy in. At first, everything works perfectly, but over time, when insulin is constantly knocking, the cells start locking their doors tighter and tighter. The body then makes more insulin to try to force those doors open. And now you have both too much insulin and cells that refuse to respond. That's when you start feeling tired after eating, you crave sugar all the time, and your waistline slowly expands. You can't lose weight even when you eat less, because your metabolism is locked in storage mode. And it's not just about weight. Insulin resistance affects your brain, your energy, your skin, even your mood. Ever feel foggy-headed after lunch? That's not normal. That's your brain reacting to a spike and drop in blood sugar caused by insulin mismanagement. Ever feel tired but restless at the same time? That's the hormonal chaos insulin resistance creates. It messes with your cortisol, your thyroid, and even your sex hormones. So when people say my hormones are out of balance, what they often mean is that insulin has been running the show for too long. Most people try to fix this by eating less or exercising more, but that doesn't solve the hormonal imbalance. If insulin is high, your body doesn't want to burn fat. It wants to store it. Exercise becomes frustrating because your body's fuel system is locked. You run out of energy quickly and your hunger increases. You end up eating even more. That's why so many people give up after a few weeks of dieting, not because they lack discipline, but because they're fighting against their own chemistry. There's another layer to this that most doctors don't talk about: the liver. Your liver plays a huge role in metabolism. It's like the central processing unit that decides how energy flows, but when insulin stays high, your liver starts storing fat too. That's what we call fatty liver, and it's one of the earliest signs of severe insulin resistance. It's silent at first, but it slowly wrecks your metabolism from the inside out. The liver becomes less efficient at burning fat and more efficient at creating it. So instead of your liver helping you lose fat, it becomes a fat factory. Now, what causes all this insulin resistance? It's not just sugar, it's the frequency of eating. Even if you're eating healthy foods like oatmeal, whole grain bread, or fruit smoothies, if you're eating them too often, insulin never gets a chance to drop. Your body needs periods of low insulin to activate fat burning, a state called lipolysis. But if you're constantly eating, your body never enters that state. You can spend years in storage mode without realizing it. And then stress makes everything worse. When you're under stress, your body releases cortisol. Cortisol raises blood sugar. And guess what happens next? Insulin goes up again. So even if you're not eating, chronic stress can keep insulin high and block fat burning. That's why some people gain weight even when their diet seems clean. They're living in a constant state of stress, and their hormones are paying the price. Sleep also plays a big role. One bad night of sleep can increase insulin resistance by up to 30% the next day. That's why, after a poor night's sleep, you crave carbs and caffeine. Your body is trying to compensate for energy it can't access. Over time, lack of quality sleep becomes another contributor to a sluggish metabolism. So when we say your metabolism is broken, what we're really talking about is this. Your insulin has been high for so long that your body no longer knows how to function in a fat-burning state. It's like your engine is running on the wrong fuel. You're using sugar as your primary energy source instead of fat, and sugar burns fast, which is why your energy crashes so quickly. Fat, on the other hand, D, is a stable, long-lasting fuel. But to access it, insulin must be low. Once you understand this mechanism, everything about weight loss starts to make sense. You stop blaming calories, you stop fearing fat, and you start focusing on fixing insulin resistance. Because when you lower insulin, your body naturally shifts back into balance. Hunger decreases, energy rises, brain fog clears, and fat loss becomes effortless. You're no longer fighting your metabolism. You're finally allowing it to work the way it's supposed to. That's why fixing insulin resistance isn't just about getting slim. It's about reclaiming control over your health, your energy, and your mood. When insulin is balanced, everything else starts to fall into place. Now that you understand what's really causing a broken metabolism, high insulin and insulin resistance, let's talk about how to reset it naturally. And the good news is it's not complicated. You don't need fancy supplements, extreme workouts, or starvation diets. You simply need to change the signals you're sending your body. Remember, your metabolism listens to your habits. If you feed it the right way and give it space to breathe, it will heal itself automatically. The first step is to stop eating so frequently. I know that goes against what we've been told for decades. Eat every few hours to keep your metabolism active. But that advice has done more harm than good. Every time you eat, insulin rises, and as long as insulin is high, your body can't burn fat. So if you're eating 6 times a day, you're spiking insulin 6 times a day, you're literally blocking fat burning all day long. What you want to do is start reducing how often you eat, not necessarily how much you eat. This is what we call intermittent fasting. Now, don't let the word fasting scare you. It doesn't mean starving. It simply means allowing more time between your meals so your insulin can come down. When insulin drops, your body RTS tapping into stored fat for fuel. That's the point where fat burning truly begins. If you're new to this, start simple. Stop snacking between meals. Have 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and absolutely nothing in between. Just that one change can make a huge difference. Once that feels comfortable, push breakfast a little later or dinner a little earlier to create a smaller eating window, maybe 10 or 8 hours instead of 14 or 16. Eventually, most people feel amazing eating 2 solid meals a day, one around midday and another in the evening. When your body gets used to burning fat for fuel, you won't even feel hungry in the morning. The second step is to completely change what you eat. If your meals are built around refined carbs like bread, pasta, rice, or cereal, your insulin will stay elevated. These foods convert into glucose very quickly, giving you a spike of energy and then a crash. The more crashes you experience, the more you crave. It becomes a vicious cycle. To reset your metabolism, you need to shift your fuel source from sugar to fat. And the way to do that is by eating healthy fats, avocados, olive oil, butter from grass-fed cows, eggs, wild-caught salmon, sardines, coconut oil, nuts, and seeds. These foods are nutrient-dense and don't spike insulin. When your body runs on fat, your energy becomes stable. You don't get hungry every few hours, and your mind feels clear and focused. Now, combine those fats with high-quality protein. Think eggs, fish, chicken, or even plant-based proteins if you prefer. Protein keeps you full, supports muscle maintenance, and helps repair your cells. Add lots of non-starchy vegetables, spinach, broccoli, kale, cauliflower, cabbage, asparagus. These are full of minerals and fiber that keep your digestive system healthy and your blood sugar balanced. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to fix their metabolism is fearing fat and overeating carbs. For decades, we were told that fat makes you fat, but that's not true. It's the combination of high carbs and high insulin that stores fat. Healthy fats, on the other hand, lower insulin and provide long-lasting fuel. When insulin goes down, your metabolism can finally shift gears from storing to burning. That's when the real transformation begins. And here's something fascinating. When your body switches to burning fat for energy, it also starts producing ketones. Ketones are a cleaner fuel source for your brain and body. They reduce inflammation, improve mental clarity, and stabilize your mood. That's why people often say they feel calm, sharp, and energetic once they adapt to this way of eating. Their body is literally running on premium fuel instead of cheap, fast-burning sugar. You'll also notice that your cravings start to disappear. When you balance insulin and blood sugar, your body stops begging for constant snacks. You'll naturally eat less, not because you're forcing yourself, but because your body finally feels satisfied. That's the difference between a diet and a lifestyle. One fights your biology, the other works with it. Now let's talk about hydration, because it's another overlooked part of metabolism. When insulin drops and your body starts burning fat, it also flushes out water and electrolytes. So you need to replenish those. Make sure you're getting enough sodium, potassium, and magnesium. A simple way is to add a pinch of sea salt to your water, eat leafy greens, and maybe use an electrolyte drink without sugar. Staying hydrated keeps your energy steady and helps prevent headaches or fatigue as your body transitions. Movement also helps, but not the way you think. You don't need to exhaust yourself with long hours at the gym. Over-exercising while you're insulin resistant can actually make things worse because it raises cortisol, and cortisol raises insulin. Instead, focus on walking, light strength training, stretching, or anything that helps you move and feel good. Once your insulin levels normalize, your energy will rise and you'll naturally start moving more. Another key factor is sleep. Deep, restorative sleep allows your body to heal, balance hormones, and reset insulin sensitivity. Poor sleep, on the other hand, increases hunger hormones like ghrelin and decreases leptin, the hormone that tells you you're full. So prioritize your sleep just as much as your diet. Go to bed at the same time every night, keep your room dark and cool, and avoid screens before bed. These small adjustments have a big impact on your metabolism. And of course, stress management is crucial. Chronic stress keeps cortisol high, which keeps insulin high. You can't heal your metabolism if your body constantly thinks it's in danger. Take time to relax, breathe deeply, meditate, pray, or simply go for a walk in nature. Anything that calms your mind will calm your hormones. Once you put all these pieces together, intermittent fasting, healthy fats, clean protein, vegetables, good sleep, hydration, and stress control, your metabolism starts to reset on its own. You don't have to count calories or fight hunger. Your body naturally finds its rhythm again. You'll notice your energy coming back, your mind clearing up, and your weight starting to shift, not because you're forcing it, but because you've created the right environment for healing. That's the power of working with your metabolism instead of against it. When you support insulin balance, your body knows exactly what to do. Once your metabolism begins to reset, the next question becomes, how do you keep it that way? Because the goal isn't just to lose weight temporarily or feel good for a few weeks. The goal is to create a metabolism that works for you, not against you, permanently. Think of this as maintenance mode, or better yet, BAL, maintenance mode. It's about sustaining the rhythm your body now understands. Low insulin, clean fuel, steady energy, and a calm nervous system. The first thing to realize is that your metabolism doesn't like extremes. It doesn't like constant changes, crash diets, or sudden deprivation. It likes consistency. So whatever lifestyle you choose, intermittent fasting, low carb, or keto, make sure it's something you can maintain long term. If it feels like punishment, you won't sustain it. But when you truly feel better, more energetic, focused, and clear-headed, it becomes natural. You'll no longer see it as a diet. It'll just be your way of living. Continue with 2 or 3 nutrient-dense meals a day, depending on what feels right for your body. Some people thrive on 2 meals, others need 3. That's perfectly fine. The key is to keep your insulin low by avoiding snacking in between. When you give your body these small fasting windows every day, you maintain flexibility, meaning your body can switch easily between sugar burning and fat burning modes. That metabolic flexibility is what keeps you lean, energetic, and mentally sharp. Now let's talk about the kind of food that keeps your metabolism strong. Always go for quality over quantity. Real food from nature, not food that comes in boxes or bags. Cook at home more often. Use healthy fats. Olive oil, avocado oil, butter from grass-fed cows. Prioritize vegetables of all colors because that's where your minerals, antioxidants, and fiber come from. And always make sure your protein is high quality. Eggs, fish, grass-fed meat, or legumes if you're plant-based. Don't fear natural salt. A lot of people cutting carbs also cut salt, but that's a mistake. When insulin levels drop, your kidneys start excreting more sodium. Without enough sodium, you can feel tired, dizzy, or weak. A pinch of sea salt in water or on your meals can help your body stay balanced. The same goes for potassium and magnesium. Leafy greens, nuts, and seeds are your best friends. Ear. These minerals are crucial for muscle function, heart health, and energy production. Now, one of the biggest challenges people face after fixing their metabolism is the fear of going back to old habits. They worry that if they have one cheat meal or one weekend off, everything will collapse. But here's the truth. Once your body becomes fat adapted, it's much more resilient. A single off day won't ruin your progress. What matters is what you do most of the time, not occasionally. The body forgives consistency. Just get back on track with your next meal, and your metabolism will stay steady. Another key to long-term success is managing stress, because stress is one of the biggest triggers for metabolic slowdown. Remember, every time you experience stress, whether physical, emotional, or mental, your body releases cortisol. And cortisol tells your liver to make more sugar, which raises insulin again. So even if your diet is perfect, chronic stress can keep your metabolism sluggish. That's why it's so important to include stress-reducing habits in your routine. Meditation, prayer, breathing exercises, reading, spending time outdoors, or simply disconnecting from your phone for a while. Sleep remains just as critical as it was in the beginning. You can eat perfectly and still struggle if you're not sleeping well. Deep, uninterrupted sleep is when your body repairs, your hormones balance, and your metabolism recovers. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night. Keep your room dark, cool, and quiet. Avoid eating or drinking caffeine too close to bedtime, and try to go to bed at the same time every night so your body gets used to a natural rhythm. Light movement is another essential part of keeping your metabolism healthy. You don't need to spend hours in the gym. In fact, long, stressful workouts can sometimes backfire if your body isn't ready for them. Instead, focus on walking, stretching, strength training, or short bursts of high-intensity exercise a few times a week. The goal is to build muscle because muscle tissue is metabolically active. It burns more calories even at rest. The more muscle you have, the stronger your metabolism becomes. Hydration continues to matter too. Your body needs water to transport nutrients, eliminate waste, and maintain energy production. And remember, when you're burning fat, your body releases water stored in those fat cells. So you'll naturally lose more fluids, meaning you must replace them. Drinking enough water also helps control appetite and supports liver function, which is key to fat metabolism. As your metabolism heals, you'll start to notice subtle but powerful changes. Your hunger signals will normalize. You'll no longer crave sugar or feel the need to snack all day. Your energy will feel stable from morning till night. You'll think more clearly, your mood will stabilize, and you'll start feeling lighter. not just physically, but mentally. That's how you know your body is finally aligned with you. And here's something interesting. Once insulin resistance is reversed, other health markers begin to improve too. Blood pressure stabilizes, cholesterol levels balance out, inflammation drops, and your skin often clears up. Even your immune system becomes stronger because your body isn't constantly fighting high insulin and inflammation. It's like every system starts to work in harmony again. Over time, you'll reach a point where maintaining this lifestyle doesn't take effort anymore. You'll automatically prefer real food, natural movement, and early sleep because, it simply feels better. You'll start trusting your body again. And that's the real victory, not just losing fat, but regaining connection with your body's natural rhythm. The truth is, your metabolism was never broken. It was just overwhelmed and confused. Once you lower insulin, simplify your meals, and respect your body's need for rest and balance, it begins to do what it's designed to do: burn fat efficiently, produce clean energy, and keep you healthy. Your body is incredibly intelligent. If you support it with the right habits, it will take care of you for the rest of your life.